way out to the humanitarian crisis is to get rid of the dictatorship.
Internet should be put in place.
Who spoke at a news conference hosted by Republican Congressman Carlos Jimenez.
They said they wanted freedom. They said they want food and they want energy.
Who said he's urging the Biden administration while working with Congress to identify and fund technologies to help Cubans secure better access to the internet.
The first thing that the Cuban government did, obviously like they did back in July 11th, about 3 years ago, was to shut off the internet, shut off communications. Why? Because they fear their own people.
Jimenez sees echoes in the current Cuban voices of dissent from the large-scale protests in 2021 against the regime and economic woes like food shortages.
It just illustrates the complete failure of the Cuban government to provide the basic necessities for their people.
Democracy in Cuba is essential.
On Sunday, hundreds, if not thousands of protesters took to the streets of Cuba demanding an end to the 64-year communistic Castro dictatorship. These protests spanned throughout Cuba's second largest city, Santiago, as well as Bayamo and its capital, Havana. Videos circulating throughout social media show the Cuban people out on the streets protesting and shouting things like, "Down with communism," "I am no longer afraid," "We're starving," and "freedom." The regime even cut off mobile data during the protest to stop people from sharing information and to suppress peaceful protesters with brutal force. The consistent blackouts and severe food shortage has made it more evident that this government and this regime fails to support the Cuban people. It's all smoke and mirrors, folks. What you see in Havana when you go and visit is not the real Cuba. The heartbeat for freedom and democracy is evidently alive in the Cuban people, and these videos prove it. This story needs to be shared so that those who ignorantly praise communism from the comfort of their homes in the US can think twice. Make sure you follow more news stories like this one at VT.com.